someone was inside. This happened earlier this year, sometime in spring. I was in that strange, unsettling limbo of my life, fresh out of college. No real responsibilities yet, and way too much free time on my hands. I had finished my last semester early, which at the time felt like a blessing. I was drowning in assignments for months, so finally being free seemed like winning the lottery. But after a week or two of endless days with nothing to do, the novelty wore off. I felt aimless, empty. Sitting around made me anxious, restless, like my own brain was turning against me. So when my mama asked if I could check on my Uncle David's lake house in Maple Harbor, I jumped at the chance. It seemed simple enough. Drive out there, make sure the place was fine, fix anything minor, and save David the hassle of hiring someone. Maple Harbor is about 2 hours from New Jersey where I live. The lake house is enormous, one of those places that look normal from the road, but reveal their absurd size once you step inside. Big enough to fit our entire extended family of 20-something people during the summer, which means it's usually loud, chaotic, and full of the smell of grilled food, sunscreen, and cheap beer. But this time, it would just be me, alone. I drove up on a Thursday evening. By the time I reached the house, the sun was dipping behind the pine trees, casting long, twisting shadows across the lawn. I remember thinking, not for the first time, that driving alone through the winding dirt roads in that quiet town at twilight felt wrong. Inside, I followed David's checklist. Faucets, circuit breaker, walk around the yard, check the locks. Everything seemed fine, yet even with the house in perfect order, something felt off. It wasn't just the quiet, just the way the quiet weighed on me. I'd never seen this house empty before. Usually it vibrated with laughter, arguing cousins, and the smell of food cooking downstairs. Without that life, the silence was almost physical, like it was pressing down on my chest. By the time I finished dinner, a sad, quick microwave meal, I was already tired, but I was also anxious. I texted my mom to say I'd stay the night. She agreed, told me to thank David, and reminded me not to be a worrywart. I told myself it was fine, just a normal night. I had the entire master bedroom to myself, a luxury I rarely got during family trips. Massive bed, private bathroom, big windows overlooking the lake. I crawled in, sank into the sheets, and finally felt my body relax. The house creaked occasionally, the wind brushing through the pine trees outside. Normal noises, I thought. At some point, sleep finally came. I don't know how long I'd been asleep when something small, soft, and deliberate ripped me awake. At first, I thought it was a dream, a nightmare I hadn't fully processed. But then I heard it again, a faint, muffled thump, something shifting inside the closet. I froze. Not the cinematic freeze in fear that makes the story fun. I literally could not move. My chest tightened, my heart was hammering against my ribs, and my brain refused to think clearly. My eyes, half open, focused on the closet door. It creaked, slowly, almost carefully. A figure stepped out, not running, not panicked, just standing there observing. The moonlight from the window caught just enough of him to reveal a bald head, ragged clothes, and a filthy, gaunt face. His eyes, I can't describe them, empty, cold, like he wasn't really looking at me, just cataloging me as one of many things he'd seen before. Time stopped. 20 seconds, maybe more. Every second dragged. I tried to tell myself it was a hallucination, sleep paralysis, anything that could make sense. But then he turned and walked up the stairs instead of down. My blood went cold. The third floor has no exit. Whoever this was, He was trapped upstairs. My body finally obeyed. I grabbed my phone, whispering into it, as if the walls might hear. 911, someone's in the house. Please, hurry. I locked the bedroom door, ears straining for any sound. The creaking floorboards above made me flinch with every step. When the flashing red and blue lights finally washed over the windows, relief crashed over me like a wave. But I knew this wasn't over. The police swept the house, but came back empty-handed. Maybe he slipped out, one officer said, shrugging. You must have been panicked. But I knew what I'd seen, and I knew someone was still inside. David didn't take that answer lightly either. Over the phone, he was furious. Search every inch, he barked. I don't care if it takes all night. And they did. Every closet, under every bed, even behind furniture they could have sworn wasn't movable. That's when they found it. The third floor window, wide open. One officer went outside, scanning with a flashlight. I remember the sickening feeling in my stomach as the beam swept upward. There he was, sitting on the roof, glaring down at us. Bald, filthy, torn clothes, like he hadn't bathed or slept properly in weeks, maybe months. His expression didn't change, didn't flinch at the presence of the police. He simply was, like a living shadow. They pulled him down, handcuffed him. He didn't speak, didn't resist, didn't even flinch. Just empty, lifeless eyes, staring straight ahead. When asked how long he had been hiding in the house, he said nothing, not a word. Just the same cold stare, like none of it mattered. They drove him away, just like that. It was over. The cops assured me I was safe. David was relieved, but I wasn't. Even now, months later, I can't sleep properly if I close my eyes and imagine that third floor window. I keep thinking, if I'd stayed in my usual room, if the window had been open, I don't even want to finish that thought. Somewhere, in that quiet lake house, I can still feel him, waiting, watching. More nightmares are waiting. Hit subscribe so you don't miss them.